Hello everyone, welcome to IRC esports season 10 of F1. We are today with Tier 3 round 13 and we are at Great Britain, famously known as Silverstone. Today I will be joined by my co-commentator who is Real SD and our streamer who is Sai. Hello boys.
Hello everyone, it's really great to be back in the com box after a long hiatus from duties in IRC, but yeah, looking forward to a great qualifying and a 50% race around this legendary track. As you said, Tanish, we just joined. We all have joined just after the incredible quali session that we had in real life. So hoping that the conditions do stay the same, and we get to see these drivers set even greater laps today.
Yep, and this track being so iconic in itself with so many famous corners as well as, like this track is pretty famous to produce, some interesting races as well as battles because of the nature and how perfect this track is in itself. So I am really expecting an amazing race for today. Let's see what's going to happen on track.
Yep, definitely. I think it's time that we move on. We get everyone a glimpse of what this track is and how to take this track on the knife edge. So let's all move forward to the track video.
Yep, this shows a track guide. This track which is 5.8 kilometer long, 3.6 miles longer, in which you can say with not a lot of elevation changes and 18 corners, 3 DRS zones. So yep, as you will be seeing it today, and let's see who uses the most out of these DRS zones as we are able to see. I think it's time to move forward and let's move on to the Hotlap.
And let's go for a lap of Silverstone on board current Tier 1 champion Helium. As we come across the line, start the lap, turn 1, Abbey corner, flat, clip the inside curb, make sure not to run wide on exit. Turn 2 is again flat coming through. Turn 3, important to keep as tight to the apex as possible. Turn 4, loop section. It also consists of turn 5 as well. Very, very important traction zone coming out of there. Coming on to the Wellington straight, the first of 2 straights on this track. As we come through Brooklyn's infamous corner, constantly tightening. Important to get a good inside line through there. Hook the wheel through the curb. Luffield corner as well. Woodcut is pretty much flat, as now we head up to the infamous part of Silverstone, which is the end of Sector 2 towards the beginning of Sector 3. Cops corner, very hard to get absolutely right. A late turn in ensures you won't run wide on exit. Coming now for the infamous Maggots Beckett section, pretty much just a case of downshift and flick your way through these corners. Only have to really brake for Chapel and we are officially done for that. Coming into Sector 3 now, down the hangar straight, DRS open as we come down to the uphill Stowe corner. Brake just at the beginning of the curb on the right hand side, hook the car in, try to not run wide on exit. Very important to keep it within track limits as we come now down to the Vale chicane, where Hamilton and a couple of drivers went up against each other, and we come across the line again round the Hamilton straight to get a lap of Silverstone.
So that was a pretty amazing lap from Helium, obviously one of our pro drivers, showing us a great walkthrough through the track and showing us how the corners are being taken, which are probably being taken by the Tier 1 drivers. So SG, what were your thoughts on that lap?
I mean, I'm going to say ultimate perfection there. Of course, I don't believe in a perfect lap because there's always time to gain across all corners that you take. But given time trial and everything, I'm pretty sure that he himself would have said that he can do better. But yeah, that was, I mean, if you want to take something close to perfection, there it is.
Yep, I truly agree with you on that. And I mean, being honest, this track is something where, it doesn't matter if it's a Tier 1, Tier 2, Tier 3. It's always gonna produce some amazing battles. So, yep, this track is just so perfect. I mean, we can't really, question about that. So, I am expecting an amazing race today with so many. I think the championship is still on with only 3 rounds to go. Let's see what's gonna happen there.
Yeah, talking about championship, we did have an incredible finale last season of IRC Tier 1 here. So let's say if these guys can give us the same amount of action that we had last season. But yeah, Silverstone always brings out a lot of caliber within the driver, since it's completely a driver's track. You have to push all the way through the through the corners on the entire lap to be as quick as possible. So yeah, it's definitely going to be all guns blazing for everyone, and I'm definitely excited to see who comes out on top across our drivers in Tier 3.
Yep, I agree with you on that, and I think it's soon time to jump into the quali and see what our drivers are doing. And I think we are in quali, yes, and it's raining like we saw in real life with some slight drizzling. It's inter situation for these drivers, and again, it's a tricky one. I don't know what drivers gonna do, but surely they have the skill to get that lap time on the leaderboard and show what they are made of.
Yeah, as I said, I was excited to see similar conditions, but it looks like it's much better than what it was in real life. So it's going to be definitely challenging for these drivers to keep the tires in the temperature window and try to not make any mistakes, as we saw multiple drivers doing that in real life. So it's definitely going to be interesting who comes out first of all on the track, as we see not an influencer, who is one of the quicker drivers in this tier, and we are soon he's following the Williams of Edog. So let's try to stay on board, and yeah, let's talk about how the championship has gone through. There's definitely a lot of guys who have joined Tier 3 recently, and do you think who's going to be let's say the top driver right now, Tanish?
Yep, I would surely go with our this thing. Championship leader who is not an influencer to top the leaderboards today in quali, at least, because in race anything can happen. I don't want to jinx anyone, so I would not say anything about the race as of now. But yep, I'm expecting not an influencer to be on top. And I'm expecting it should be a mix of, I think, not influencer and destroyer drag as well, because last race in Abu Dhabi, I remember they were battling so hard. Though they were unfortunate in the race because of personal issues or connection issues, but yeah, they were on the top of their game.
Yeah, definitely. It's going to be one of the most interesting battles we're going to see. If these challenging conditions are there, we may be able to see a bit of a gap among the field, but if it stays dry or if the race starts dry, it's definitely going to be a close field. As we see, a lot of drivers are out on track. What would you, Tanish, as my co-commentator, what would you say? What do you do in such a situation where these guys are facing? Do you want to go out on track, or do you want to just stay behind, stay back in the pits and just try to see out the conditions if it's going to be a dry spell in the next 5-10 minutes?
I would surely go out on track and get a few laps done in the time I have, because again, these are pretty challenging conditions and there is no one breaking point in this situation. You really have to be up on your game and to understand where the right breaking point is to get that lap time. So I would love to take a bit more fuel load, get those lap times or time on the track to understand how the grip situation is there. And again, maybe in the last 6-7 minutes, try to just push for the fastest laps that I can get in the session. So yep, you do need that time at the start to understand the situation on track, on how wet it is. But yeah, later on you will just the track 2-3 minutes in the pits just to see what other drivers are.
Sectors he's done recently well, but yeah, I'd like to move on, as I think we have left the session. I think there's been a minor disconnection from our end. So hang on, guys. We'll be back soon after we fix the technical difficulties that we're following.
Yep, we'll surely be back soon. I mean, again, I think it's just that, we are probably trying to take our viewers to the part where the drivers are pushing for the fastest laps, because right now trying to, like I said before, just trying to get the feel of that track, get into that rhythm or to get the lap time in. And yep, we'll surely jump back in and get our viewers the view, or the, how should I say it, like the glimpse, or the not glimpse, what I should say actually in that the situation is. Can you help me in that thing?
Oh, we are definitely waiting for the drivers to be on their top performance and try to get warmed up after the initial laps that they get. So yeah, this technical difficulties we hope does not come back in the later half of the qualifying. It's always good to get these kind of things sorted at the start of the session.
Yep, it surely is. But right now we are into that issue and I hope we can fix it quick. But yep, I am expecting, since we have a decent grid today. I think we had 17 or 18 drivers, if I'm not wrong. We'll find it out soon again. But yep, that being so many drivers there and this track, I think there's a lot of possibilities of strategies, and I have seen a lot of safety cars in the past few races. So I don't think it would be a straightforward race for the drivers. Surely there will be gameplay in the strategies with what strategies drivers can go on, what time the safety car is coming. So I'm expecting an amazing race. And it's definitely possible that not fastest driver is not winning the race today.
Yep, definitely is, as it always has been through other circuits as well. But talking about strategies, this is one of the circuits where the hard test can basically go the entire race distance. So you just need to get rid of the softer compounds as quickly as possible and trying to do a one stop into the hard test if it stays right throughout. So I expect these drivers to make use of that make use of that point as much as possible, and I expect these guys to try to do a one stop, maybe hard to mediums or hard to softs, because it's quite viable on this track.
Yep, but I think one more thing the driver would want to avoid is getting stuck in the DRS train during the race, because it's so difficult to pass the drivers in that train. So, yep, they would be looking out for that as well.
Let's be back. Sorry guys, for you guys to be for you guys to be not seeing the action live, but we are on board. Swagata, who just finished the lap, and he started 37-2, taking him up to P7, which is on the midfield, but let's say a second and a half of not an influencer who is sitting into the pits quite happy. And yeah, it's definitely looking quite good for the McLaren driver as in virtual or real world. So it's definitely looking.
There's a kind of sync going on between between this team in real life as well as virtual life. So yeah, and I think there's some technical issue again. I hope we can fix it. I'm not sure what's happening as of now. We surely are disconnected. But yep, I am not sure what's happening today. So SD, like, I mean, what's your say? Like, the track is gonna be wet throughout the quali session, and again, like we said, if there's a possibility that the fastest driver is not winning in race, again, these tricky conditions can make it happen in quali too, that the fastest driver is not on pole. So can we expect someone else instead of not an influencer, maybe destroy a track on pole today?
Yeah, definitely. I mean, I am not like 100% aware of each and every driver on this grid, but I have quite a bit knowledge, and I'm pretty sure some of the drivers would prefer it to be wet as not a dry, because they are quite comfortable with the throttle control. So yeah, it's definitely anyone's game as of now. Also, if the weather does seem to be changing as it looks like, then the last person on track is definitely going to take advantage of the changing conditions and might set the lap at the perfect time there.
Yep, it surely can happen, because as said, you should be the last one to start a lap in these conditions to get the maximum grip on the track. So yep, let's see what's gonna happen. And again, I think there are a lot of challenging corners on this track for the drivers where you can easily lose the traction, even if you are, let's say, going amazing through first two sectors. There's toe corner which you can mess up because the car's going so fast running. It's a high possibility to understeer there, and penalty system of this game, it's very easy to get one or invalidate the lap. So yep, anything can happen.
While you're waiting, let's not indulge into virtual. Let's just move a step aside and talk about what happened in F1 qualifying in real life. Why not, Tanish?
Yep, surely we can talk about. I mean, it was pretty interesting, to be honest. So yeah, why not?
Yeah, just to keep our viewers engaged with us, do let us know how you guys in the chat box, how you guys felt the quali went. Of course, we never talk about P1 in quali, as is quite given throughout this season that Max Verstappen is inevitably going to get P1, let it be dry, wet, or changing conditions. So P2 and 3 McLaren drivers. Never expected that, given what and how far they were in Bahrain. So yeah, kudos to them and their development team. They have been really doing well. And let's talk about Piastri. Never, like, what was it? What a lap! More than Lando. I'm really happy to see Piastri there after what the saga that happened last season. Tanish, how do you think our boy has done?
I mean, he has done really great. I mean, he must be under immense pressure from a driver like Norris. I mean, we know how consistent Norris is when he gets the lap time done or when he gets the right car. And being just 110 behind him and on P3 in that McLaren, I think it's the first time for him on that podium spot in quali in F1. So, yep, that was amazing from him today. I mean, he must be really proud of himself. Though the job is still left for tomorrow, but yep, today it was his day.
Yeah, definitely. Um, someone's talking about someone whose day it was is definitely has to be Alex Albon as well. What the Williams out of nowhere being P3, like I think in the top three in both the qualifying session, sorry, both the practice sessions, and somehow he carrying the performance into Q3 and being in the top seven. That's been a really good performance from the Williams as well. That's the biggest shock compared to McLaren, isn't it?
Yep, surely it is when, people were saying how simple the floor is of that Williams car and how it's going to improve and how it's going to challenge the other teams. It's just showing that, sometimes if it's not the car, it's the combination that, puts you up to those high places in the leaderboard. So, yep, I think that's what happened today. So, I would say immense effort from both Albon as well as the team today.
Yeah, definitely. One team that I'm really disappointed and it's really dear to my heart is Mercedes. Another butchered performance in the qualifying session. But yeah, definitely the race pace was looking strong yesterday, so I'm sure they're going to do good. But let's just move on. We are back. We are back into the virtual world, into F1 22, and we are in the Tier 3 qualifying session. It's going to be wet throughout in the race and in the qualifying session, as I just got an inside information. But yeah, as we are on board, not an influencer. I'm not sure if he's improving or not as telemetry doesn't seem to work, but really sitting around 2.5 tenths behind Billy Butcher, who the Ferrari has set an immense lap. And is this lap going to be good? No, he's just coming back into the pits and he'll just put on a new set of filters and go again.
Yep, I think he ran a bit wide through the exit of Chapel there. I think I'm not sure if it's Beckett's or Chapel, but yep, I think he ran wide there, and that's why he must have decided to abort his lap and then go on a fresh set of tires for his final few runs.
Yep, on board a Red Bull driver, and as I think that and I think that Red Bull was on a good lap. But yeah, let's go on board Sandeep, who's trying to finish his lap right now. Taking slow quite conservatively, and he sets back to the pit. So another driver whom we're not going to see setting a lap time right now.
Yep, I am. Was it a reset to track?
No, I think that was just a little bit of lag from our end. But yeah, it should be okay. I don't think there was any purpose movement to the left.
I hope that's true. But yeah, as of now, Billy Butcher, I'm sorry. Billy Butcher is on pole position, provisional pole with 3/10 compared to the driver behind him, who is not an influencer. So yep, I think he's also doing some decent job out there today.
Yep, and another guy who's doing a decent job in the last sector is Pathogen, or Mamuka Admi, as you all know. As he crossed the line, and he does not improve, or he does improve up to P8 with a 36.3, sorry. But yeah, the grid looks quite close from P2 to, I think it's around P9, so it's gonna be definitely close. And see who keeps their position and who comes out on top. But yeah, Wilshire right now seems to have a 3 disadvantage. Quite a lot.
As we see, so only 4 minutes remaining, and I really feel like the track could have started to improve by a lot, and drivers rain down those laps and get the best position on the leaderboard. As I see that Aston Martin was struggling slightly through the exit of that Cops corner. But yeah, let's see what's he gonna do. As of now, he's sitting P14 with a lap time of 1:37.4. So still a bit far off compared to the top guys, but let's see what he can do, because I think I remember he was the podium sitter from our last race, which was in Abu Dhabi. So let's see what he has in back for today.
Yeah, it seems to be giving way for the Ferrari driver, who is on an outlap. Can we stay on board Billy Butcher for the next lap, as I like to take over and try to commentate on this lap? So opening up the last corner really nicely as he sets his eyes into improving his lap time, going into Abbey. It's definitely not flat as he brakes even to get the car, get the nose in. Down to arena as we get into turn 3, misses the apex by a country mile, but carries enough minimum speed into turn 4. Really good apex right there, ground to first gear, which is not expected by anyone on this game to get good traction. So definitely different lines taken as he sticks to the inside part, leaving a bit. I'm thinking, I think he has definitely aborted this lap and he will go again for the next lap.
Yep, it's better to abort this lap and get the best lap possible, because it's almost 3 minutes remaining and you don't want to waste one lap in just trying to fix a lap which is already destroyed. So let's see what's he gonna do. But as of now, we are on board with Ritesh. Another, I should say, strong performer. I mean, sometimes gets involved in the incidents, but yep, he has been decent this time as well, this season as well. Sometimes, the incidents can't be avoided, but in general, the driver is really amazing. And let's see what he can do today.
Yep, carrying as much speed as possible through left field into Woodcut and trying to keep on the apex. I'm not sure if this is the glitch from our end or he's just lagging, but let's just try to get the best out of the situation that we got. So let's see, can we get the telemetry up, please? I want to know how. Okay, never mind. We have already gone past it, but don't worry about it. So we're going to go into maggots and beckets. Normally it's flat in the drive, but he'll definitely will lift off. We'll brake at that corner, down 2 gears from now, into 5th, and try to get a good exit out of the corner. Really, he got a good exit there, definitely, but I'm not sure how much the split time he's up on himself. But yeah, going into the final couple of corners, into Stowe, really tricky to get the car in and carry as much minimum speed as possible. He might have invalidated there, definitely did there. Running wide, I'm not sure if he slowed down enough. Going into Abbey, going into Vale chicane, exiting really good in 2nd gear. The traction control definitely helping, as you can hear it, viewers can hear it, and crosses the line, stays PBR.
Yep, I think that was a pretty scruffy lap from him. Still, I think he's still got time for one more. Let's see if it continues. I mean, he needs to continue. He doesn't have time to just go there and start another again. He needs to continue and get the lap time in again. But yeah, as of now, Billy Butcher is still on pole. Not an Influencer has not managed to displace him from there. And Lean Sipper is also doing amazing. Only a few hundreds behind Not an Influencer, and he's on Hotlap. So let's see what he can do. And as of now, Billy Butcher, I think he is on his fast lap. Let's see what happens when he crosses the line. Can he improve his lap time? Going through the Stowe corner. I think it was a pretty clean line from him. Going through, and he'll now go to the final chicane. Cuts in tight, and now he'll try to open up the exit for this final corner. Let's see what lap time he can get in once he crosses the line. And he does improve slightly, but yep, it's an amazing lap from him. Your thoughts, SD, on this?
Yeah, he improved by 7 thousandths, which is not a lot, but still good enough to get himself into pole position. Could we get the details timing on the right side, if you can? Lap it. Thank you. Yeah. So yeah, as we are on board, Not an Influencer, will he be able to beat the lap time of Billy Butcher? Yes, he does by 2/10. What a lap from Not an Influencer. This is why he's leading the championship. He's definitely showing us who's the boss here.
Yep, that was a pretty Verstappen-like situation today when Norris just came out of nowhere, puts that fastest lap in real life in final quali, and then Verstappen just coming on his lap, and just displacing Norris by 2/10. So yep, that was exactly the same situation on what Northern Influencer did with Billy Butcher. But yep, like we said, strong performances from both of them. Northern Influencer have crossed the checkered flag, so he won't be starting another lap now. Billy Butcher is, I'm not sure if he'll do one more lap or not, but Destroyer Rack is now crossing the line, moves to P3. So still 3/10 of Northern Influencer, but yep, I think it was a good lap from him as well.
Yep, one of the first Williams to cross the line. Zephyr goes into P4, really good lap from him. As you see, Sandeep Merudu getting into the top 5 with a 35-0, really good lap from him as well. The grid is really close all the way from P2 downwards, so let's see what the Mercedes or Swagger Turbo can do. He crosses the line and does not improve on his time, so he stays in the top 10 in P9. As we see Archit, Not an Influencer's teammate, go into the top 7, and he's replaced by Mamu or Pathogen with a really good lap, 35.8. This grid is really looking tasty right now. And I think everyone has finished the line, and that's your grid, folks.
Yep, I think that was a really good call from Pathogen, who is Mamuka Admina server. So, yep, I think that was a really good call from him as well, being 3/10 of the pole position and really showing it that, sometimes it's a consistency that would matter in the quali or maybe in an event while driving. So, yep, that was a really good showing from him as well. I think he was kind of an underdog performer today because from past few races he was not able to get his performances right, but this time he has done really good in quali.
Indeed, you'll be really chuffed with that performance. Starting not in the mid pack or the rear, so at least not get hampered by other drivers there. So definitely he has an opportunity to not get hit into turn 1 as he normally does, which we have really a lot of reports to look back on. But yeah, that's a grid. So can we go run through the grid again? Thank you. So we have, I think, just go through the incidents, and we'll be presenting you the grid right now. So we have Naughty Influencer with a 35.5, 2/10 ahead of Billy Butcher, which is really nice in this. And we have Destroy Track, Path, E-Dog, and Sandeep Midadu rounding out the top 6. We have Lead Sipper, Archit, who is Naughty Influencer's teammate. We have Mohan, the second Red Bull driver, and we have AQK, who's rounds up the top 10, and we have the rest of the drivers are here as follows.
Yep, I think that was a pretty close going. And be on top today because they showed a glimpse of the pace they have. I mean, it's a different situation in the race. It looks sunny, so yep, it can be different, but yep, there will be an amazing race I'm hoping for.
I think my inside information has been wrong. My sources have been wrong because I was being told that the race will also be wet throughout. So yeah, this actually spices up the race even more because some people would have chosen wet setup, some people would have chosen dry setup. So yeah, there's definitely going to be a lot of disparity being shown across the field. So do tune in, folks. Do put your top 3 predictions if you are interested to do that in the chat box, and we will be getting started with the race really soon. As we all know, this game is bugged when it comes to formation lab, so we'll have no formation lab. We'll directly go to the five lights, and once they are out, the race will begin, and we're going to do the 26 laps around Silverstone.
Yep, 26 laps with the 1 lap around 6 kilometers. So obviously a task for the drivers to do out there today. And I think there's not even one corner where you can really relax. You just kind of take a chill pill and just get it right. You really have to be on your toes because every corner has a possibility of multiple lines which you can take and get that lap time or keep that consistency. So you really have to, keep your thought or just know what line you should be taking and how you should be exiting that particular corner to keep the car at the required pace.
Yeah, more than that, the middle sector is really tiring for the wheel users and of course the controller users as well, since it takes a lot on your fingers and your shoulders when you go through them, and basically it's a really quick change of direction in the middle sector. So yeah, how you want to take cops flat, if you want to take flat or not, there's a lot of quick decisions to make based on the grip that you feel. That was the setup that you have taken. So it's going to be 26 laps of all round challenge. But yeah, if people are stuck behind DRS trains, it's going to be another battle to look forward to.
Yep, I surely agree to you on that thing. And as of now, I think we are waiting for the drivers because, we have a rule that drivers need to wait for the host to ready up, or you can say they have to at least wait 1 minute to give other drivers a chance to load their setups, get their strategies done, and then obviously we can move forward to the race. But yeah, there's just one question to you before we start. We have seen kind of, like various incidents, like almost every race has got some incidents at the start. So can it be because of the no formation lap that we have, which just causes the drivers to start on kind of colder tires and just makes it difficult to brake?
I'm definitely disagree with that because I'm pretty sure with the amount of races that I have done last season and this season on this game, you start on 90-degree tires irrespective of the tire compound. that you start the race on. That's what this game does when you don't have formation lap. Everyone starts on same tire temperature, so definitely it's not an example of that. It's not an issue based on when you look at it from that aspect. It's definitely based on the skill gap or the skill or the lack of spatial awareness when people go side by side. Especially lap one when you have 4-5 cars around you, is definitely need a lot of spatial awareness and also way to judge when to back out. That's really important on the first lap.
Yep. So now drivers can no more use excuse of no tire temperatures at the start during the incident. So yep, they if there's something they need to increase their social awareness, the skill, or just practice and make sure there's no incidents. But yep, it's only 2 seconds till we go into the race. Yep, we are. SD, would you like to go us through the start of the race?
4 lights, 5 lights, and we are about to go as lights out, and we're going to be a little bit of pause, and they're away right now. McLaren gets a really good start. The Ferrari trying to be alongside him as we go into Abbey turn one. The Aston Martin had a look there, but all single file there as the top three go into turn three. There's a lot of carnage behind, if I notice, but everyone seemed to have gone through pretty clearly as a Mercedes goes wide at the exit of turn three. Ferrari and the Williams driver, you can see on the screen, going side by side into turn 4, and a camera has decided to go past the... okay, so it's a McLaren sandwich right now going into the middle sector as not an influencer, really had a really good start, kept his lead, and we have a yellow flag in turn 1. The Mercedes and the Ferrari, the Williams and the Ferrari driver fighting, and the Ferrari goes wide, and the Mercedes of AQJ sends it down the inside and gets the position. A really good move from the Mercedes driver.
Yep, that was a really amazing start. I'm not sure what happened to that McLaren in the end, but yep, one McLaren is leading, so yep, that's doing good for the team. As we see, Billy Butcher is trying to keep the pressure on, not an influencer. I think the drivers would be just trying to, hold on to their position, not involve in battle too much, because obviously you'll lose time yourself. So just manage your ERS, stay in the DRS of the car in front, and find the right moment to pounce on, which I think Billy Butcher will do.
As it's a civil war right now, as both the Williams' E-Dog goes wide. Will he give an invitation for his Williams teammate to send down the inside? No, as we go into the wheel chicane, another wide movement for E-Dog, but Lean Sipper and E-Dog go into the wheel chicane in the same order and come out of the same order as well.
Yep, right now we are on board with this Williams. Okay, now we have changed to not an influencer. I think he'll just keep the car in front and just not push a lot, keep his pace consistent. Will not feel like there's a big threat from Billy Butcher, no matter if he's in DRS. Just try to keep his pace. If he wants to overtake, let him overtake, but just stick with him and wait till the next stint or the final stint to show his full pace and try to get that first position on the leaderboard.
As we just saw briefly, one McLaren is of course leading the race, and the other McLaren is having a torrid time. Infraction, who has had another spin into turn 1. I'm not sure what setup he has used. Definitely not having, as he has rage quit from the lobby, I think, or maybe disconnected. I'm not 100% sure. But yeah, there goes one McLaren, and we're on board T3 Destroy Drag, who is being chased down by Pathogen. Will the Red Bull seem to have the advantage that they have in real life? We'll see. We'll wait and watch. As Path has nearly half a battery to use, so definitely is conserving a bit. Talking about the tires, you just noticed that the Destroy Drag has started on hards. So did Sandeep and Mohan. So it definitely looks like they're going to do the best strategy around this track, which is hard to mediums or hard to softs, which depending on how hard you push on your tires. So yeah, we wait and see how long the hard runners actually go. As Podium has the fastest lap of 31.3.
Izzy, just one question, like you just talked about the strategy. Is it possible for the drivers to just push their mediums spin slightly more and then in the end just go onto the soft if there is no safety car?
It's a stretch. Of course, I do not expect current Tier 3 drivers to conserve to a certain extent that they can push for a medium softs, but of course someone who has the skills to do it, they can definitely get it done.
Yeah, but seeing the thing that sometimes few drivers might be using traction aid or maybe ABS, so it's possible that I don't think they'll feel a lot of difference or a lot of the car losing rear a lot. So I still think they should just try to push their medium. If there's no safety car, then just try to push their medium stint and get onto the softs in the end. I think can prove to be a better strategy than hard softs.
Yep, definitely it can. And we are really on board a brilliant battle between Mohan and Vinay. Vinay, they're trying to back out at the exit of Woodcut, but come on, Vinay, don't go straight, don't go alongside there as he decides to back out really well. Has a bit of movement at the entry of Maggots and Beckett, sorry. So yeah, to get a good exit as Deadshot is the first person to get a free skip penalty. But yeah, we're on board Vinay as he gas the others. Will he get past Mohan? Try to go around the outside of the store, no space there, and Mohan closes the door. Not sure what's going on the screen, but let's just move away from Vinay as of now and see how brilliant of a battle that's going on ahead of them. And that's E-Dog at the back of Pathogen. I mean, we did just see that Pathogen was at the back of Destroyed. Actually, has a little fallen back a bit. So there definitely looks like the top three are on their own league, each equally apart with the guy in front.
Yep, and I have to agree, Destroyer Rap, if he keeps his pace consistent, he's doing a nice job out there with those hard tires, because obviously he would just try to keep as close as he can to his main title rival, who is not an influencer. As of now, we are seeing E-Dog who is trying to get a move down on Pathogen, and he spins because of that contact. I'm not sure if it was a contact model there, but yeah, whose fault do you think it was, SD? Was it a racing incident? What exactly happened there? What, in your opinion?
I'm sure Pathogen went wide. I did not expect that Williams driver to be there, but of course we can say that in all the incidents in hindsight. But judging by that, it looks like a racing incident to me. But yeah, move on. E-Doc has come off really bad from that as he has fallen down to P16. So yeah, definitely he'll be looking forward to gain back that positions and catch up to Pathogen.
Yep, and again, like we were praising E-Dog, I think we have jinxed him. I'm sorry, E-Dog, but yep, as of now, we are seeing E-Dog. It looks like did he leave the session, or was it because of the driver being slow? Yep, I think it was because of the driver being slow there, and he is in the session. He's still trying to get back the positions that he have lost because of that crash. As of now, AKQ, who is running in P6, less than a second behind the driver in front, who is Lean Sipper. I think he'll just try to stay in that DRS zone, not DRS zone, I should say DRS 1 second gap, yep, 1 second gap, and just wait for the DRS and use the pace of the driver in front to, just keep his pace nice throughout the race.
Yep, definitely looking forward to the battle that's going to be happening right now. So let's we're on board Mohan right now, who has been quite close to him for company, and looks like both the Alpines are trying to pile on the pressure on Mohan, try to make him force a mistake out of him. But at the moment, Mohan is doing really good on the hard tires as we see a battle between the Alpines. I'm not sure what's going on. They should be working together to get past Mohan, but it looks like Vinay and Contender being Vinay decided to let Contender being go. So yeah, definitely some kind of team orders happening there.
Yep, there must be some team orders which we don't know about, but it's up to them what they are doing. So let's see what they can do out there today. But yep, Contender Ming, I think he should be driving in front because it looks like he is the faster driver as of now and can try to get the moves done on the driver in front. So yep, it will be nice to see Contender try to overtake the drivers in front and help the Alpine score some more points out there.
About the gap in front as we see Billy Butcher get a 3-second penalty. Oh my, this is going to be a really bad influence on his race, as we say, as not an influencer. Builds up a 3.1 second gap. What a first 6 laps that he has built up, and looks like he's just going to increase the gap moving forward.
Yep, he will try to. I expected him to, keep his pace consistent. I'm not sure if Willy Butcher is trying to be conservative or not, influencer is just driving too fast. But yep, he is not waiting for it. He's just trying to drive as fast as he can. As of now, it looks like that. But yep, and Fendenmik is trying to get a move on Mohan. Mohan is nicely keeping his car there, and Fendenmik loses the car on the exit. And yep, as we discussed at the start, SD, the traction zones, it's so difficult to get the traction right, especially in the race.
Yeah, definitely. The Sector 2 is all about traction. Definitely the start of Sector 2. So getting through Woodcut and getting through Maggots and Beckett's exit will be very important, as Mick definitely finds out and he's going to improve from the next lap onwards. So yeah, definitely I expect from his given his pace he should be back up to the back of Mohan again. But yeah, as we see Satvik Reddy, welcome back Satvik Reddy. It's been a while that I've seen, but will he try to send it down the inside of Vinay? He sends it, shows him the car, pokes a nose in, but Vinay cuts him off, goes wide, but will Satvik Reddy try to send a move down the wheel chicane? Sends it down the inside. Vinay, there's a bit of contact and the Haas driver definitely could have backed out there, but yeah, that's it. That would have been really bad for the Haas driver.
Yep, I would seriously not talk about that incident on what happened there, but the contact model of this game is really catching out a lot of drivers today, and it's kind of a same incident that is happening and making the drivers spin, with one driver trying to poke his nose through the corner and other one just closing the door in the end. So I am not sure what's happening, but it's surely interesting for our viewers.
Yeah, definitely a bit of lag and a bit of desync there, but yeah, Vinay seems to be keeping tabs of. Okay, no, he did lose a position to Swagger. So yeah, Vinay through all his tackles, through all his moves, definitely is not moving forward, but really at least not losing too many positions there.
Yep, it surely is, and Contending is again trying to get a move on another driver who is missed. I'm not sure what exactly happened there. He must have had to brake there because Mist was a bit slower on that exit of the corner, and he runs a bit wide through the corpse corner. Does he have damage? I think Contending has got damage. Doesn't look right on his face. I'm not sure. But yep, as of now, Mist is trying to keep the pressure on Deadshot. And let's see if he can get the move done. The red light is blinking of Deadshot. He must be conserving his battery. And yep, he gets the move done. I think it was a bit easier move compared to Contending trying to get a move done on Mist earlier. And he does that move now on Satvik Reddy. So yep, just using that advantage of, or did the overtake of Missed on Satvik distract Satvik? What do you think about that? Because Contending was pretty, found it easy to overtake Satvik after that.
I think it was Deadshot who had that battle with Vinay going into the wheel chicane, but yeah, that definitely there was a bit of contact as you can clearly see in the mirrors. So the Deadshot loses 2 positions there. Definitely not what he's been looking for. Starting on soft tires, which is really, he should be definitely be in the top 10 with the tires that he has. So it's not going all to the plan for the AlphaTauri drivers, but it's looking really good for Drac, who is kept up within the DRS zone, started on the harder set and still within the grasp of the lead. Definitely in the second stint, Drac may be looking for getting the advantage and maybe even overtaking Influencer with the fresher medium tires and faster tires that he'll be having.
Yep, I'm not sure about the pace difference between these two sets on this track, I'm sorry. But yep, he is running in a really nice position, only 6 tenths behind. I think he's using his Billy Butcher's DRS, just to keep going with him on this medium space while being on hard. So he's just playing all to his game, and I think it's just going perfectly as of now.
Yep, as of now, looks like the McLaren and the top 3 are in their own league, as Pathogen is 3.5 seconds behind the Aston Martin drivers. So yep, he's doing quite good, as we see a yellow flag in the final sector. I'm not sure who it is. Contended cutting the final corner. That is not exactly, I'm not sure what happened there, but he's definitely losing a lot of time there, and as Satvik Reddy and everyone gets past.
It looked like he must have lost his car on the exit of the final corner, because obviously it just pushes you onto the grass on the right, and then its only option is to cut that whole part and rejoin the track. So we are not sure what happened, but that's definitely a possibility out there. As of now, the battle is still going on between Lean Sipper and Pathogen, with Pathogen keeping that pressure on, Lean Sipper keeping that pressure on Pathogen. Let's see what he'll do. Will he wait, or will he quickly try to get a move done on him? Because yep, as of now it looks like Pathogen is a bit too far to get a move done. So yep, he needs to stay behind, keep that gap maintained, or try to reduce it but not let it improve. And there was a car which has spun.
Drac? What happened there?
Yep, it is Drac. I'm not sure what happened there, but he must have lost his car somewhere because of those hard tires which doesn't have enough grip.
He has also left the session, so definitely something might have been a power cut of some sorts. But yeah, oh boy, another driver that we are jinxed. I can't be asked right now. And yeah, this afternoon has definitely gotten really bad from what position he was in. So yeah, Billy Butcher definitely will be having a breath of relief right now. He's just gonna be just trying to keep the gap within 5-6 seconds and try to maintain some form of pace and get in tabs with influencer. As we see, Contented Mink has left the session. Has he retired in the pits? Yes, he has. So we are down to 17 drivers right now.
Yep, I mean, it was kind of unfortunate for Destroyer Rug because even in the last race, the same thing happened to him. And though it was because of he lost the car on the exit of one of the corners, but this time it looks like it's because of a disconnection, because of some internet issues. But yeah, either way, it's a frustrating situation for him. I really hope he can try to join back and reduce the damage that has been done till now.
Yeah, I just wish the same for him as well and for people around because he was setting the race up really well for the other folks, the viewers, and definitely for us in the later half of the stages. But right now it looks like Influencer is going to have a very easy time, and if he doesn't do any mistakes, he's going to be really winning. As we see P2 Alpha Butcher coming into the pits to get rid of his medium tires. It's quite early, but not early per se, but he definitely can get the house till the end. So definitely, it's interesting to see how far the McLaren driver pushes the medium tires. So the undercut is quite good here, but definitely we need to see how quickly Billy Butcher and Pathogen get the tires up to temperature.
Yep, it looks like drivers are pitting a bit early and just trying to get out of the DRS train and get the maximum positions or maximum positions gain, like try to gain maximum positions and get out of that DRS train because obviously undercut is really strong like you said. So yep, I think that's the reason and for the drivers on going through that straightforward strategy. But yep, I would really love to see some of the drivers trying to increase their medium stint and go on the softs in the end because that would really spice up the game.
Barring any safety cars, this looks like it's going to be a simple one-stop strategy for everyone. So definitely it's going to be interesting to see how AQK, who has inherited P2 right now, 12 seconds behind. So he's definitely trying to stretch out those medium stints, do not come out in traffic and try to lose as less time as possible behind the slower drivers. Right now, as we see Mohan sending it around the outside with a bit of contact. Yes, there is, and the Ferrari driver is sent spinning. Resets to track. Not sure why he has done that. But yeah, instead of losing one position, he has now lost 2 positions.
Yep, it doesn't look like there was a contact between them. I'm not sure what exactly happened. Was it because of some net issues or what? But yep, that was again the same incident that we have seen till now. One driver on the inside, the other one closing the door or not giving enough room, and then the one spinning. So yep, that's pretty unfortunate for him. Another top runner who got caught up into an incident. But yep, let's see what's gonna happen.
Mercedes have decided to come into the pits. Let's see where AQK comes out as Pathogen goes out, and yeah, he is definitely ahead of those 2 drivers. So it looks like it's gonna be quite a close battle between those 2 as we have another spinner, Deadshot, losing it at the exit of Stowe, and looks like he's gonna have another torrid time right now in this Silverstone Grand Prix as we see both the Haas drivers going around the outside. Satvik Reddy, what a move from the Haas driver on his teammate, and he's definitely trying to make up the lost time that he had battling with Vinay last time. So definitely he needs to catch up, try to get the pace as up as possible and try to drag Mist along with him.
Yep, that was a really good move from him. But yeah, I think this team needs to play the team game and like you said, just drag each other to as high as they can and get the maximum points for the team. But yeah, as of now, it looks like drivers are not really enjoying the hard tires with the incidents that we are seeing. Again, as we know, it will take some time, maybe 2-3 laps to get the temperatures right. But yeah, let's see what they can do till then. But again, SD, one of the question is these 2 drivers still need to pit. So let's see what they can do.
As we see, our our man of the moment, not an influencer, changing up onto the harder tires. How close will he be to Billy Butcher? It looks like he's going to be comfortably ahead. Well, more than 5-6 seconds. So Billy Butcher definitely not having the best of the start of the hard sprint. So yeah, looks like influencer right now is has it in the ballpark, has it in his grasp. He has to just see out the rest of the half of the race, and he's going to be smooth sailing as Pathogen has somehow crawled up the 5 seconds gap in 2 seconds. So definitely looks like Path on this hard tires having a really comfortable time or better time than Butcher.
Yep, and to say this, the top 3 spots as of now, the net top 3 spots are being occupied by Northern Influencer, Billy Butcher, and Pathogen. And it looks like Pathogen is doing really good because, again, if he keeps in that 3-second gap to Billy Butcher, he'll be on for a P2 spot today.
Yeah, it looks like he has all the means. He just needs to execute that final stint, make no mistakes, and when he gets into DRS, try to make that one move count and try to sail past him and keep up the time. The Satvik Reddy has caught up to Influencer, who has pitted. So Satvik, you should not make a move. It's not your race, but yeah, decides to back out and try to lose as less time as possible. As Influencer definitely with those pressure hard tires and up to temperature after this lap, it's definitely gonna be seconds a lap quicker compared to the old hearts of Satvik.
Yep, plus they can use the DRS of Northern Influencer if they can keep within the 1 second to just drag each other along and get those, improve the gap to the drivers behind and get a decent delta before pitting. Yeah. As we see, the Billy Butcher just overtook Ghosted.
Yes, a ghosted car of drag, which is unfortunately hasn't still joined the session back. He definitely have some kind of a power cut, assume. So let's hope he's back. Let's hope he can at least finish the race from now on, as he still has the opportunity to finish in the top 10. So let's see how the pans out for him. But it looks like Mohan and Sandeep and Red are the only drivers who are left to pit and missed as well. Okay. We have like 4 drivers who are yet to pit from the hard tires and put on the fresh mediums. A safety car right now is definitely going to be very, very sweet for the top 3 right now. So let's see how that pans out for the drivers. But it looks like Influencer soon is going to catch up to Red, and definitely will try to dispatch him as quickly as possible. Far behind him, has closed on the gap to mere 1.4 seconds. So yeah, it looks like it's going to be battle for P2 till the end. Lean Sipper, some 2 seconds back to Path, but definitely don't count him out, as they've seen the Williams driver definitely quite fast. Unfortunate for his teammate who got tangled up with an incident with the Red Bull driver. We are on board right now, but definitely that Williams looks like he can crawl down and reduce the gap to Path.
Yep, there will be a great battle for those final 2 podium spots in our race, with a lot of drivers in the mix. As of now, we see 3 drivers pitting, who are Slowly, Red, Mist, and Sandeep Maridu, who came out on medium. So obviously fresh rubber, faster rubber. So they'll try to use these tires to the maximum and try to gain as much positions as they can in the final stint, if there's no safety car, of course. It looks like they still can go till, I think, maybe P5. If I take the example of Sandeep Maridu, I think it's a bit difficult. It might be difficult to reach higher spots, but P5 is definitely possible for him.
Yeah, definitely. I think given the pace that the medium tires have, just like a second or 6 tenths a lap from that, definitely is possible. As we see a spinning Haas driver. Yep, that's been Haas. He definitely just came out of the pit, so definitely this cold tires caught him out, and he's just weaving to get the temperature back up. But yeah, that's definitely not what the Haas driver was looking for, as Mohan gets a penalty for speeding into the pit lane, which is quite silly, as this pit lane is one of the easiest to get into. So we're going to be swiftly moving on as he tries to get his old hard rubber out, and in goes the faster new medium tires, as we see Satvik Reddy also following him into the pits. He's also going to be changing over from the hard tires to the medium and try to use the fresh rubber that the medium tires provide. And we are back to the top 3 which was there before, as Mohan loses it on the exit. Sava keeps it within the track limits, and yeah, that's really close coming out of the pits.
Yep, I mean, okay, that's the battle is still going on. He is into the pressure from AKQ as soon as he exited the pits with no temperature. The faster rubber, let's see what AKQ can do. Can he overtake Mohan before the end of this straight? I think he'll just stay behind. Yep, he does. He kind of stays as a sensible move to stay behind because it won't take a lot of time for Mohan to get those tires charged up and increase that gap from AKQ. So anything can happen. Let's see. But yep, Mohan, as soon as he exited the pits, I would have to agree. It's pretty difficult sometimes to get traction out there. And it's really common to lose the car on the exit. But yeah, as Mohan has started to increase the gap ever so slightly to AKQ, and I think this will just keep on increasing, maybe slowly, but surely because of that fresher rubber that he got on his car.
Yeah, that was really close going into the village section of the track, turn 5. But that was really important for Mohan to keep his car ahead, because now he has no dirty air to look into. He can easily push those medium tires till the end and try to create a gap to AKQ, which he's able to do to a certain extent. As we see Pradeep Mira trying to do the opposite, trying to overtake the second Mercedes driver of Swagger, which should be an easy move given that he's on very new medium tires. Should be an easy move down after the first DRS zone or the second DRS zone, either one which he chooses to. As he's really close, really sent it down the inside. Swagger defends very aggressively. He gives up the corner entry and then he decides to get a very shallow line. When Pradeep Mira able to do the switchback really early on power, and Pradeep too wide into the corner, and Pradeep gives a little bit of room, but he does have the DRS, so he should be able to sail past the Mercedes driver, and that's the move done by the Ferrari driver.
Yep, that just shows the grip difference that both of them got on their cars, because you could just see the lines that Sandeep was taking and how easily he was able to get the traction right. So, yep, that was a good battle and good overtaking as well from Sandeep Maridu with that cutback line there.
But yeah, I think there was a bit of contact at the entry of the mid corner of Luffield, because I think Swagger decided to poke his nose where there was no space at all, and he lost the car a little bit, went for a minor spin, and yeah, he loses the chunks of time there, and he has a red for company who is on another fresh set of medium tires behind.
Yep, the pressure is on now, so let's see Swagger, can he defend from Slowy Red? I think it's gonna be slightly difficult with the fresher rubber that Slowy Red got on his car, but let's see if he can. He's trying to place his car, while defending, is messing up his corner entry, I think, which is causing him to suffer on the exits. What I feel like he can try is to keep the car in the center and not fully go on the inside, because then it's really difficult to turn with the track with available.
Guys, they're definitely trying to be too conservative on the entry and try to cover up the possible dive bomb that these guys can send, but these guys are quite far back, so Swagger definitely has a lot of room to improve there, but looks like he's going to be going again defensive into the next corner, which is definitely going to hamper his mid speed. But yeah, he decides to move on to the outer of the track, and yeah, definitely right now he's keeping the minimum speed up and stays in front of Red for now.
Yep, and while we were on this battle, we were talking about Leansipper and Pathogen, Leansipper, Pathogen, Billy Butcher, who are fighting for the final few podium spots. But it looks like Mohan is in a great position to get that P2 if he gets all right in this final stint with those medium tires. And he has overtaken Leansipper for P4 now, and he is now almost 3 seconds behind Pathogen, and we can say around 5 seconds behind Billy Butcher. So I think it's still possible with 7 laps to go.
But he has that penalty of 5 seconds in his name, so it's definitely going to be not impossible, but it's going to be really difficult for him to overtake Billy Butcher and create a gap of 5 seconds in the 7 laps that's going to come. I'm pretty sure Pathogen is going to just give the position up, as he doesn't want to hamper Mohan. It's too bad of an extent, so I definitely would want to give the position, give the wave by Mohan, and then anticipate that Mohan will definitely fight with Um, Billy Butcher, as we see, a lot of ghosted drivers there, so nothing to see about. But we have Red again following Swagger. Looks like Swagger has created a bit of a gap, so on this lap he's going to be quite comfortable. But it looks like this battle is going to go on till the end of the race.
Yep, it will be. And slowly Red would be trying to, conserve his battery for maybe a lap or two, because I think the driver in front of him is 5 seconds ahead and is kind of similar pace, so might be difficult for him to get there, and that's why he would not want to lose a battle here and just at least get that P8 from Swagger. So he might try to just charge up some battery and use it fully on the straight and get the move done on Swagger.
Yeah, definitely looks like he could have had a better deal there, but moving on, 6 laps to go. A lot can happen still, but looks like the one position that we can be comfortably say that it's in his grasp is influential is 12 seconds nearly up on Billy Butcher, who is quite steady, 2.5 seconds up on Pathogen. So definitely is going to be really, really close till the end for P2 down onwards, but looks like P1 is quite settled right now.
Yep, he is kind of replicating Verstappen in this virtual game with that mega gap with the driver in P2. So, yep, another strong performance from him. I hope the game doesn't cause any issues to him before the end of the race and he gets that P1 in his bag. But yeah, let's see what's gonna happen. As of now, Slow Red still keeping the pressure on Swagger Turbo. I would have wanted him to stay a bit more patient, but it looks like he's kind of going for it and using his battery on the straights to keep that gap close to him. I would have to appreciate Swagger, who is defending so well till now from Slowy Red, who is 3 laps younger plus faster set of tires.
Yeah, this Swagger is doing a phenomenal job, but looks like on this lap it might be a difficult as it's just 3 tenths. We are 3 tenths behind, so if Slowidet can stick close to him and get a better exit out of Swagger, a better exit than Swagger out of the Beckett and Chapel section, and looks like he has. He's 3.5 tenths behind. Will that be enough? Swagger is braking, so does Red as well. Avno, as he goes around the outside of Swagger, really, really close. We try to keep within the track limits. Yes, he does. Swagger decides to defend again, but he leaves the entry there, and Red decides to fight another day there.
Yep, that was a pretty clean battle from him. One moment it looked like Slow Red might get a move done on Swagger, but again, Swagger placing his car really nice on the corners and just making sure that Red doesn't get any chance to overtake him. And yep, as of now, it looks like apart from these two, the field is settled, because I don't see a lot of battles going on there. Mohan is still 1 second behind Pathogen. It can be possibility to get P2 on track for Mohan, but still, as we see, Slowy Red is trying to get a move done on the outside. I don't think that was a pretty that wasn't a very common move you would do through that corner, SD. What do you say on that?
You can, if you have a really big tire advantage as he currently has, and get it done, but I think he backed out at the wrong moment. He should have tried to carry the speed that he had, but definitely he's deciding to not make this move quite simple for him. Looks like he's struggling to make the moves decisive enough to have his nose ahead going into the corner and try to command the position, but looks like he's 5 tenths. Oh, he didn't have a good exit there, so probably going to be stuck for another lap behind Swagger Turbo. He's doing a phenomenal job in defending in this position.
Yep, Swagger is surely doing an amazing job, but I can feel the frustration of Red, because you would not want to be stuck behind a car on slower tires while yourself being on faster tires. Yep, Slowy Red would really wanting him to pass pretty quick and get that fresh air to maybe get the few fast laps done. But again, it's up to him on how he can get that move done and how he can place the car right, use his tire advantage to get that move. And as we see, two Red Bulls battling as
I
Mohan.
will not say it as battle, because definitely it's team orders there, because Mohan has the 5-second penalty on his head, and Path is just trying to keep within the 5 seconds and wish that Mohan will catch up to Billy and slow him down so that Path can get the move done on Billy as well. As we see McLaren slowing down. I don't know what happened near like Deadshot and Ritesh, but there's seems to be some sort of desync there. So let's go on board path again as Mohan. AKQ gets a 3 seconds, so that's going to be interesting. That might bring Sandeep into the mix for a top 6. So yeah, it definitely looks like quite an even spread of penalties there as Mohan and Billy Butcher has 3. So Path definitely doesn't even need Mohan to slow Billy down. As of now, Path looks like he's going to be in the top 2, P2. Yeah, that's a good race from the Red Bull, but still 3 laps to go, anything can happen.
Yep, anything can happen for sure, as we have just seen team orders going on between Red Bull guys. With 5 seconds, to be honest, seeing Billy Butcher with that 3 second penalty and Mohan with that 5 seconds and 3 laps remaining, I mean, I won't be surprised if not for Pathogen, but Mohan might get, P3 and Billy Butcher just drops out of the podium places.
Not sure if he will, because Mohan has to get past Billy and also create a 2 seconds gap, which is not going to be that straightforward. Or the medium tires right now might be feeling a bit second hand compared to the hard runner. But if he can get this move done on this lap, he has 2 laps to create 1 second a lap. So we will see exactly, but Mohan does not seem to have many ERS as well to create. So he'll be on the next straight. Can he get a good exit on the hanger straight? Can he get the move done down the straight? It'll depend on that if he wants to get in the podium. So as of now, it looks like he's still sticking really close to the Ferrari driver, trying to mimic. He should take a bit wider line than him not to get the dirty air, but Ferrari seems to get a really good exit. But Mohan with DRS and whatever ERS he has left, will he send it down the inside? Yes, he does. Going way too slow. Mohan has his nose ahead, and that's a clean move. No, still around the outside is the Ferrari driver. He's trying to stick close. Will he send it down the wheel chicane? No. He decides to send it on the outside, as that does not pay out, and Mohan placing his car in the perfect places that the Ferrari driver cannot place, and that looks like that's the move and the job done by Mohan. And now it's on him to do 3 qualifying laps, trying to get a gap of 2 seconds at least to Billy Butcher, so that he can, as we can see, a double Red Bull podium today.
Yep, as of now, it doesn't look like he can pull it, like you said before, because Billy Butcher is just sticking with Mohan and not leaving that 1 second gap. But yep, that was, how should I even say that? Mohan, it didn't look like Billy Butcher tried to defend Mohan or not allow him to pass, because he looked pretty conservative. They just left the whole inside open and let him make the move. So I really don't know what happened there. He should have tried to defend ever so slightly, or maybe just stick the car into the middle and not let him make the move.
Yeah, Mohan right now already has created a 8/10 gap, so it's very important that he gets out of the DRS range. It looks like Billy might be just within. As we are on board Sandeep, who has caught up to AKQ, although AKQ has 3 seconds penalty on him, barring any removals after the stewards. So looks like Ferrari driver might not be even needing that, as he cares to stay in front before the flag drops, as he makes his easy move down the outside of the Mercedes driver, and that's P6 for Sandeep.
Yep, that was a decent move from Sandeep to get that P6 on the leaderboard. As of now, again, there's not a lot of battles going on, and Sandeep, I think he'll just comfortably cruise ahead of AKQ with those fresher set of mediums, though they might start to degrade a lot more than the hards. But yep, we'll see. With only 2 laps to go, I don't expect a lot of position changes apart from the penalties involved, of course. But yeah, as of now, it looks like Mohan. Yep, Mohan might drop. Okay, that will be closest. Let's just say on that, it's a 1.3 second gap, 1.2 second gap. So it will be close by the end of the race.
Yeah,
it will be close.
Definitely looks like he just needs 6/10 more, which is possible to be done in the next lap. So it's all on Mohan to get to have a very perfect lap on the next lap. So let's see if he can create that gap. But down the field, I think it's gonna be a smooth sailing. It's going to be important if Path has a battle with Billy, because if they do battle, both are going to lose time, and that might invite Mohan to get even 5 seconds on them. So we'll see how that pans out. But as of moment, Mohan seems to have the pace to create the 2 seconds gap.
Yep, and we'll be soon starting the final lap with almost 3/10 of the gap, which he needs to build more on the driver as of now. we see slowly Red, who is again trying to get a move done on Swagger, which is a kind of long hold battle or the move which we are waiting for. Let's see if he can get it done now. He has overtaken it on the straight, and Swagger sticks on the inside and still stays ahead. I'm not sure how he's defending so well, but yep, he still manages to keep his car in front of Slow Red. So I think we have to appreciate the defending from Swagger today.
That was really good defending from Swagger. He showed the door, kept the car in the middle of the corner so as to not keep the inside open or the outside open, and that's a really good car placement and example of how to defend their folks. So kudos to Swagger, as Mohan has created a 2.2 seconds gap. What a performance from Mohan right there. The medium tire is definitely coming clutch there. Looks like that's probably his AI that got disqualified, so let's kind of ignore that as of now. But looks like we have the McLaren of not an influencer going into the final stow corner. What a drive from the McLaren driver has it been from quali, taking pole by 2.5 tenths, not putting a foot wrong, leading from lap 1. Is definitely a grand slam right now from not an influencer, as he rounds up the final corner, and the McLaren driver wins and extends his championship lead there.
Yep, that was an amazing showing from Not an Influencer, and he must have increased the gap massively to his title contender. And the battle between Sandeep and Leansipper is still going on before the line. Will there be any change in the positions, or will Leansipper stay in front of Sandeep? And yep, he does stay in front of Sandeep and crosses the line to finish P5 and Sandeep P6. And the best part, we see 2 Red Bulls on the podium with Pathogen in P2 and Mohan in P3. So, yep, SD, he did manage to do that gap.
Yeah, that's a really good performance from Mohan there. And what you say about Pathogen, not getting into any collision, not getting involved in any collisions at the start of the race, and behold, he finishes in the podium. So yeah, good race from both the Red Bull drivers and the McLaren driver.
Yep, Pathogen just showing us that race is not won on lap 1. You have to be consistent, you have to keep the car on track. Don't get involved in the battles. Even if you have to lose a few positions at the start, you surely can gain them during the course of the race.
Yep. Oh, that was a very eventful race. Not the best we have had, but a really eventful race from the midfield. Let's just say so. Yep, we'll be soon talking to the top 3 finishers, which are going to be Not an Influencer, Pathogen, and Mohan. Definitely quite good stories and race highlights to look forward to. Let's get the podium finishers back onto the interviews.
Yep, we'll surely get them in the commentary box. But again, SG, what are your thoughts on this race? With everything that we kind of felt like won't happen, it just kept on happening.
Yeah, this race, I mean, it panned out like a really classic, but at the front it was quite boring, as I think Influencer led it all the laps. But yeah, it was looking really interesting until drag had a disconnection. It could have been a really interesting race, but to be honest, the midfield was really eventful, and that beautiful defense from Swagger really showed us how to do wheel-to-wheel racing. So let's talk to the podium finishers, and we have just Path with us, so we'll wait for other drivers to join up.
Yep, we'll surely wait for the other drivers to join, but I have just one question to you. What do you think? Like, what's your opinion of the driver of the day for today?
I mean, it's definitely has to be not an Influencer, man. Didn't put a single foot wrong from lap 1, and with the performance that it did, I'm pretty sure that's going to be the driver of the day. But we have Mohan close to P2. He really made use of the alternate strategy and the better strategy, as we said before. So did create the 2 seconds gap after overtaking his teammate and Billy Butcher. So yeah, kudos to Mohan as well.
Yep, that was a pretty interesting race for us, and I hope that was for our viewers as well. And we'll soon start off with the podium interviews. We are just waiting for the drivers to join us and give us their insights of the race. Let's see how quickly we can get them in the commentary box. We're just waiting, as we'll soon drag them to the commentary box. And yep, they are here. SG, why don't we start off with the drivers that we have? And we have a race winner, Mohan. Not race winner, but yep, an amazing driver of today, Mohan. So why not start with the podium interviews from Mohan today?
All right. I'll take it over. Mohan, finished P3. I'm not sure what was the expectation after qualifying and seeing that it was a dry race from a wet quali. Talk us through how your race went and starting on the alternate strategy and the better one, and even getting the 5 second penalty. How was your race panned out?
Yeah, I thought I had to do something different. I changed to the alt strat right at the last moment, actually, and it paid off. I think I had good 5-6 laps in clean air before I pit, and got to even do a couple of extra laps than I planned for, and that helped in the end. The mediums was too fast in the end, and even without the 5 second penalty, maybe P2, still P3 is good.
Yeah, talk us to what went through when you caught up to your teammate, Pathogen, who really happy for the Red Bull drivers, did finish P2 ahead of you. So talk us to how that went and how the 5 second penalty shaped your race after that.
So I thought because I had the 5 second penalty, probably, not fight it too much, provided, I bring Billy Butcher closer to him, and that's how it panned out, I think. I'm not sure if that cost him time when I overtook him, but it worked out well for us. He got P2, I got P3, and 2 podiums for the team.
Yeah, really congratulations to you for finishing P3. Tanish, you have something to ask?
Nope, I would just like to congratulate him for an amazing drive today. Obviously, we see that it's not easy to get all those moves done, but yep, an amazing race from you. Congrats on the podium.
Thank you.
All right, let's move on to the teammate who we've not seen much on the interviews in this season. But please welcome Pathogen onto the podium interviews. Path, how happy are you with the finishing position and finally not getting punted in lap 1?
Finally, buddy. Finally, yes. I don't know. I'm at a loss of words right now.
Yeah, so you did start around in the top 5, or I think 4th if I'm not wrong.
Yeah,
but
fourth.
Yeah, I think starting up the field did help you. But how was your race went through? Because I think up until track disconnected, you have quite a lonely race, right?
Yeah, I was pretty much alone in the midfield, but not in the midfield, but yeah, I was alone at 4th. But yeah, I saw Billy Butcher get a 3-second penalty. So my objective was to get within the 3 seconds of him, if not overtake him. And yeah, I pretty much managed to do that. And yeah, just to clarify, Mohan, that overtake didn't cost me time. And just before the race, I had texted Mohan that yeah, if I see you behind me for some reason and you have the pace, I'll just let you by. So yeah, I selected the spot, I let him by, took DRS, followed him, and yeah, got the position on Billy Butcher. Yeah, it didn't cost me a lot of time over there.
So yeah, you're definitely happy with the podium finishes. Will we see the same performance moving on to round 14 Brazil?
Hopefully, if it's a wet quali, yeah, because I saw wet quali and I had a smile on my face because yeah, the last time we had a wet quali was in Australia and I qualified P4 over there as well. So
really good performance from you. Congratulations, and hope to see the performance and the same level of performance in the coming race weekend as well. Moving on
thank
to
you so much.
moving on to not an influencer, a race winner, a championship leader. I think he just missed out on the Grand Slam because Ritesh put on the soft tires at the end and got the fastest lap. But influencer, please, I'm sure you had a very lonely race when you started, but do tell us how your race panned out.
Well, first of all, congratulations to Red Bull, Mohan, and Pathogen for an amazing result on the podium. Yeah, the race was pretty much boring, but after all, it's Silverstone. It's a great track. You love to race on it, and you love to go fast on it. You love to push the limits on it. So I had fun. I did have fun, and yes, I do miss the fastest lap. Although by 400, I believe at the end I wanted to go again, but I thought that nobody's going to take it. But to my surprise, Ritesh did. So pretty good race, pretty fun, and on to the next one.
Yep, I looked quite plain sailing for you, but at throughout the race until Drac, who started on the different tires, hard tires, was keeping up with Billy Butcher throughout the race until I think he disconnected. So were you at all like a bit concerned that his pace was so good on the hard tires, and were you ever concerned that he would have had you in the path of the pit stops?
I was, yes. I mean, if he didn't have been disconnected, I'm pretty sure he would have caught up to me because we saw the pace on medium was just too good. Especially without any safety car in the race, I think he would have definitely given me a fight up ahead. And I was concerned, hence I was pushing in the first few laps. I was pushing my limits. I was draining my ERS, like just to build a good gap and hope for a safety car maybe. But it all worked out in the end.
Really, really good performance from you. We hope for you that you continue, probably have the championship soon. Like at one hand on the championship, but still a couple of rounds to go. So anything can happen. We have more than 50 points on offer. So definitely it's going to be a lot of close racing ahead, and we hope that the racing continues. So Tanish, you have anything to ask?
Not anything to ask, but surely to congratulate on an amazing performance again today. I mean, you were pretty, how should I say, like you were pretty unfortunate in the last race with Abu Dhabi and with that disconnection. But today, I think it was a redemption for that event. So, yeah,
Yes,
congratulations on that win.
definitely. Thank you. Thank you so much, guys.
All right. So that's our podium finishes. We talked to, our interviews done, and that will be the end of today's stream. It's been a really interesting stream and interesting race. So if you liked what you see in here, if you liked our commentary, if you liked our racing, if you want to take part, do join our Discord. All the information is there in the description of this video. Our next stream and our next event is Tier 2 round 13. That will be around the same track, Silverstone. More racing to follow across this legendary track. So do join us tomorrow. That is Sunday, 2:30 p.m. IST. In the afternoon, a chill stream. Maybe some people wake up on that time. Maybe you're having your lunch. Do join us to have a chill session while you have your lunch. So we, as from now, Tanish, myself, and Sai will be signing out, and hope you had a fun evening and good night.
Good night. Bye bye. Take care.